What's going on, everybody, and
Hey.
welcome to another 77 Flavors Gem, if you may.
Hey, this is a gem.
This is a
It's gonna
gem.
be good. It's a little chilly. I don't know why we
A little
walked out the
chilly,
house with
a little
no
nippy,
jacket on.
a little
You
nippy.
know what I mean?
Darius' nipples are
Hey, they
going
hard,
crazy.
but behind this sweatshirt that you can get off our website when we put it back for sale.
It's actually sold out.
It is. But anyway, anyway, we talking about Rush Street. That's where we are right now. The very, very historic Rush Street.
Yeah.
And got some pretty fun facts for you. So, did you know that this is one of Chicago's very first streets
That's wild.
ever created here in Chicago? This dates all the way back to Chicago's incorporation,
Yeah.
1837, and even a little bit before then, because this street, Rush Street, was part of the old Native American trail that was also known as Green Bay Trail, also known as Green Bay Road, that guess what? Took you all the way to Green Bay. This was a I know. This was a like a main route. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How all the routes were back then.
Maine.
Yeah, main main route. Here's a fun thing. Main, yeah. Here's another fun fact. Because we don't know that this was the oldest street.
Right.
It's probably top 3 oldest streets, and the one that we can say is also pretty old is the Clark Street.
Yeah.
As Chicago's sirens go crazy here.
It's an ambulance.
It's an ambulance. So
We're on Rush Street. Which,
yeah, right.
Oh, it's a fire department ambulance.
But also,
Do you think it's going to Rush Hospital?
that's where I'm going with this. So the name is named after Benjamin Rush. Let's come this way here. It's named after Benjamin Rush, who was one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence. And Chicago has 4 locations that are named after Rush: Rush Medical Hospital, Rush Street, and there's 2 more. We'll put them on the screen. So, but we got more history to tell you because Rush Street is actually full of pretty fun things. Matter of fact, right behind us is Viagra Triangle, and if you are not from Chicago, Viagra Triangle, that's where all
If you don't know.
If you don't know, don't go there
That's
single.
where, well,
That's all I know. Well, go there
I'll go
single.
there
If,
single.
if you're trying to
you
get
might get you a Viagra daddy.
a sugar daddy, he gonna be
needs Viagra.
yeah, he gonna need it. Anyway, but yes, a lot of rich shit down here.
You know about the Viagra triangle.
Who don't know about it? We, you know what I mean? Like who don't?
You're right.
Anyway, there's a lot of dope history on here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rich happenings happening on this street right here. So we're gonna walk up and down, and we're
Yep.
gonna tell you some of the history. So let's get it.
Let's get it.
So fun fact about this corner here, I used to work at the old road, the corner. No, kind of, yeah. I used to work right here, but park right over there. Dope little fun fact about Rush Street, that's the road parking garage right there. I think I still got a pass that works. Anyway, y'all don't care about that.
No.
So as we said, this is a very old street and has a lot of history going way back before any of the major times. But check this out. Right on the corner behind us, that little square block. So we got Rush, Ontario, Erie, and Wabash. That little block right there, that once stood the first mayor of Chicago's mansion.
Wow.
Yes. And get this. That's also the location of the first building of Chicago's first ever architecture. Yes.
What do you mean?
So the first of any kind, any architecture
That's wild.
of Chicago also built Mayor William B. Ogden's mansion right here in the corner behind it. I got the name because the name is it's a weird name that I can't remember. His name was John M. Van Osdale.
Sure.
Yeah. Pretty crazy. Nope. Oh god, they're idiots. Hey, so pretty dope.
Yeah.
Pretty
It's
dope.
really cool.
Yeah, pretty dope. All right, so another very cool fun fact is if you've been down here on Rush Street, you do know that this street is primarily a one-way street with a few spots here and there, like short runs of northbound traffic and southbound traffic. But before that, it wasn't, because traffic was so bad down here and so congested. In 1950, Chicago adapted one-way streets in the city.
Was that for the traffic?
It was for the traffic so that they can kind of
I
control
thought it was just
No, it was so they could
Just to
control
ruin
the
our lives.
no, so they could control the congestion because Rush Street was literally
sense.
one of the busiest streets.
Yeah.
And so they used the Uniform Vehicle Road Act of 1931 to implement one-way streets
That's
here in
awesome.
Chicago.
That's
And one-way streets were primarily here on the near north side neighborhood community areas. That's how one-way
Wow.
streets in Chicago got started.
Wow.
Ain't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Yeah, we're gonna keep on going down this street because, you know, on this street, on Rush Street, there's a bunch of history, bunch of not museums, but a bunch of mansions that used to be built here
Right.
because this is where Chicago's elite wanted to be. And of course, that's what made it busy.
Yeah.
You know, they actually had, or like right down this way.
And, I mean, the port of Chicago is just down the street,
Hey.
so like you can imagine
Hey.
how busy it was.
it was very busy
Yeah.
down here. That we'll get into that.
Everybody was worried about the one bridge.
Yeah,
We'll
right.
talk about it in a little bit.
Yeah, right. There you go. Yeah, pretty dope. So there was also called McCormickville because he was like one of the big names that down here. So they
Right.
called it McCormickville. Everybody built a house around there. Pretty dope. But there's more, like we said about the bridges. So let's go.
Let's go to the bridges.
So we made it to essentially the end of Rush Street on the south end here, and with all good, there were some rocky parts that
Yeah.
we got to kind of explain. And so it's cool that we end by the river here, as you can see. Here we go. It's cool that you end by the river because this is one of the few places where a bridge used to be. And oops, let's back out the way. There you go.
Oh, it's Frito Lay.
Oh, we'll take a box.
You said,
Yeah.
first time I heard that joke.
One of the few places where Chicago once had a bridge to get over the Chicago River, and this was one of them. And now, let me explain. I'm gonna bring my phone out because there were 4 instances where a bridge was here, and I'll tell you how we got to no bridge. So let me go ahead and open up my notes here. And
Meanwhile, look at these brave people taking a ride on the boat.
Yeah, for real,
on the river.
they tripping.
Huh?
They tripping.
Not
Actually,
in this economy.
Yeah. I like that view. Let's begin with the first bridge that was here, and the first bridge that was here, it was 1849 was the first bridge, and it was a floating bridge, basically held by rope almost. Like, I'm not even joking.
Where was that rope?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. I'll tell you, it's in a river now, but it was destroyed by an ice storm, not once, but twice.
Damn.
Yes. The second bridge was made of iron and timber. Okay, made of iron and timber, and that was 1857, and that one cost about $48,000 to build. By the way,
In what year?
1857. So could you only imagine? It was like $1 million, like a bunch of millions right now.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say probably more.
That was destroyed by cattle stampede caused by a barge's whistle.
A barges.
Yes, a barge that went through. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
It's really hard to imagine this area not what it is now.
Right.
Like, we probably have to go back and look at some really old pictures, but like, even over 100 years ago, the Tribune has been up for over 100 years, right?
150
So like,
plus, yeah.
what? It's like how?
Yeah.
How was there a stampede of cattle?
Stockyards.
But that's so far away.
Yeah, I know, but we still have cattle. The third one, it was the same bridge from 1857. That was destroyed 1871 because Chicago fire. The fourth one, barge was involved in this one again. They rebuilt the one from the Chicago fire. 1883, a barge hit it and destroyed it.
A barge hit it. What's a
Yeah.
barge?
Like a floating with containers. You should know that.
Oh.
Yeah, container. The containers have it. Yeah, so that hit it and destroyed it. And then check this out. Here's how we came to the bridges we have now.
Okay.
So at one point, this took people about 77% of cars, commercial cars, came through here
Okay.
and crossed the river to get to the loop. The other 23% were about commercial videos, commercial vehicles
Okay.
that use this bridge.
Right.
And so this was a main thoroughway. And when that bridge went down, they were like, hey, you know what? All these bridges going down, this might not be the best option. And so then, guess what they did?
What?
1920, the Michigan Avenue Bridge was
Oh,
built.
yeah.
And that's the story of Rush Street. And then it's pretty cool. Rush Street's
Yeah.
got some dope history, but that's how we got to the now DuSable Bridge is what it's called, but it's the Michigan Avenue Bridge.
Yeah. And there's a bust there that you can go look at. There's
Yes.
some history about the bridge.
Yes.
You know,
And right back here at Wolf Point, almost. Now, we're not really close to Wolf Point. Wolf Point is
a few blocks.
few bridges
blocks
down.
north, yeah.
So pretty interesting
That's
though.
really interesting.
Yes. So that's all I got to say.
Well,
If you like this episode, go ahead and hit the subscribe, like.
if you like this episode, you can subscribe. You can follow us. That is the most awkward way.
What? No, it's not. That's the best way.
It's the best way to support our content. The shit is free, so you know. The least you could do is subscribe.
Yeah.
And if you did not like this episode, check it again next week.
Yeah, you might like.
You might like that one.
You might like that one. Oh, you might like this one if you just watch this rewind.
Rewind.
Anyway, I'm done. It's cold.
It is.
We about to go see
We
a
have no
movie.
jackets on.
No, we don't. Well, I don't know what we were thinking. So,
Spring, baby.
peace.